Brian, is it just wrestling that makes people crazy on Twitter or social media or whatever? But do other lines of do they do it in baseball or shove the the MGM mad at Universal? What the in on social media? Is it just the wrestling?
Primarily, I mean, every now and then a feud will break out or a back and forth will break out, but wrestling kind of does it better than others. I don't know how much you follow it because, you don't really follow current events that don't deal with, trees and whatever the happens over there.
Birds.
But have you been following the feud with Drake and Kendrick Lamar?
I have not. I know I've heard the names. I'm aware that they are people that exist in the world. Drake was a character on Seinfeld, right? Everybody loves the Drake.
No, that's a different Drake.
Kendrick Lamar was the NBA player that overdosed in the whorehouse in Nevada, right?
No, that's Lamar Odom.
Oh.
It's sad that we both know that, but no, that's not who this is, no.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. Here's the goddamn deal. If you're going to fucking make national news for fucking overdosing and frying your brain, staying up for 3 days at a fucking whorehouse in Nevada is the way to do it. I applaud that man. But apparently, if neither one of these are those people, then I may not know who the fuck they are.
See, the thing is, you can't think of the visual of someone having this medical issue in a whorehouse without thinking of a bunch of hookers around him dressed like hookers trying to help him. Just the ridiculous visual of it. There's no way to see that and not laugh. But anyway.
But the thing is, it was a whorehouse. Nobody would perform mouth to mouth.
It was the best little whorehouse, but they had the worst forced aid. They had the worst forced aid.
You had to pay extra for the forced aid over there. But now, so what happened between Lamar Odom and Drake?
This is a feud, and I pulled up an article here because it'll get me a little caught up to date as well from the New York Times. Kendrick Lamar versus Drake beef goes nuclear.
So wait a minute. So his name is Drake Beef.
No, they have a beef. These two, Kendrick Lamar and Drake, have a beef. So it's Kendrick Lamar versus Drake. Beef goes nuclear. Although there's no comma or anything, so it does look like Kendrick Lamar versus Drake beef.
Well, that's because Kendrick gets two names. Why does Drake not get a goddamn proper surname? Mr. Beef.
What are your thoughts in general outside of wrestling on people who become celebrities? Again, Meatloaf. Cher,
what do they do?
Madonna.
Now? They don't play basketball, and he's not on Seinfeld. What are these people doing these days for employment?
They're
Kendrick
rappers.
Lamar and Drake.
They're very, very popular rappers. Probably Drake's probably the most popular of this generation with young people, and Kendrick Lamar is a critically acclaimed Pulitzer Prize-winning rapper, actually.
Oh, come on! There is no Pulitzer Prize for rap. You cannot tell me there's a Pulitzer Prize for rap. Is there a Pulitzer Prize for bluegrass?
I don't know.
Well, Google it. You can't tell me there's really a Pulitzer Prize for rap music.
No, he won it for Walden by Henry David Thoreau by Kendrick Lamar.
And what?
That was a joke. He rapped a thing.
I don't know the difference.
Pulitzer.
You mean to tell me he rapped Thoreau, but wouldn't Thoreau get the goddamn...
Well, he's dead.
Certainly there'd be a copyright infringement. Is there an estate of Thoreau?
I can't believe I'm Googling this, but there is no Pulitzer Prize for bluegrass. There's one for music, and I guess if you play bluegrass, you could win. But there's nothing specifically for...
And he won.
Bluegrass. Well, he won, but let me read this article
What
here.
did he win for?
Let me read this article here by Joe Cosracelli, or something like that. The long-building and increasingly testy rap beef between Kendrick Lamar and Drake exploded into full-bore acrimony and unverifiable accusations over the weekend. This came out May 6th.
That doesn't sound very violent.
Both artists...
Full-bore acrimony.
Both artists rapid-fire released multiple songs littered with attacks regarding race, appropriation, sexual and physical abuse, body image, misogyny, hypocrisy, general trauma, Excuse me, generational trauma, not general
I was
trauma.
about to say general trauma. That sounds like it's a fucking lawsuit.
Generational
Your
trauma.
Honor, my client suffered fucking acute hearing loss, goddamn loss of consortium with his wife, and general trauma.
Generational trauma and more. Most relentless was Lamar, a Pulitzer Prize winner from Compton, California, who tends towards the isolated and considered Who tends towards the isolated and considered, but has now released 4 verbose and conceptual diss tracks, totaling more than 20 minutes of new music.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it all.
Targeting Drake in the last week, including 3 since Friday.
Wait a minute. If you've written and recorded 3 songs since Friday, how good can you fucking be? I mean, is there any quality control on this shit?
Each racked up millions of streams, and the 3 that were made available commercially, Euphoria, Meet the Grams, and Not Like Us, are expected to land near the top of next week's Billboard singles charts, while seeming to, at least momentarily, shift the public perception of Drake, long a maestro of the online public arena and meme ecosystem.
Meme ecosystem. Who is this fucking guy? Joe Petrocelli?
Joe Coscarelli, I believe would be his name. Possibly.
He needs to put the fucking thesaurus down. This fucking guy. Who is he writing this for? What is the audience that wants to hear this fucking... Go ahead.
In between, on Friday night, Drake released his own broadside against Lamar, plus a smattering of other recent challengers in a teasing Instagram interlude, plus a 3-part track, an elaborate music video titled Family Matters.
Who is out there watching into Instagram interludes from these fucking clowns?
In which he referred to his rival as a fake activist and attempted to expose friction and alleged abuse in Lamar's romantic relationship. But that song was followed within a half an hour by Lamar's Meet the Grams, an ominous extended address to the parents and young son of Drake, born Aubrey Graham, in which Lamar refers to his rival rapper as a liar and a pervert who should die in order to make the world safer for women.
Well, and meanwhile, they're putting these songs out in 30 minutes. How long did it take for Boston's 3rd album?
Well, again, you say that putting it out in 30 minutes, we don't know how long it's been ready. We don't know when the track was finished. We don't know.
Well, then are they working together because they're answering each other back and forth?
Well, no, this seems to be benefiting just one party so far from what we've read, not both parties. But the idea that, in wrestling, you have shoot interviews, and that's really the only time, or now Twitter, you get to hear anyone what they really think. Maybe. They may still be working. What do you think about what is there's a plane going by, windows open. What is one of the things that has always been there with hip hop? The diss track. The guys going out there and putting down their rivals. Ice Cube, No Vaseline is one of the classics ever of the genre. But what do you think about, they're not doing shoot interviews. They're actually going out there and trying to not just say, I'm going to piss on your grave, but find a way to turn that into a bunch of bars.
And then they start shooting each other, right? From the who killed Tupac and Suge Knight and fucking...
Well, no, Suge Knight's alive. Suge Knight's still alive. He's in prison, actually.
I'm just spouting off names that I know have been shot at or shot people or gone to prison or whatever. Fatty Arbuckle, right? Or Notorious Biggie.
He didn't shoot anyone.
I was thinking of the fat guy, the Biggie Small fellow.
He didn't shoot anyone either. Hold on.
Did he get shoot? Well, he got shot.
You confused Biggie Smalls with Fatty Arbuckle?
Whatever their name was. But the point is, and no, there's a point to this. I'm going to tell you.
There used to be a wrestler, Fatty Turnbuckle.
Yeah, well, but then he lost weight and killed his gimmick. Wrestlers the rappers should adopt the wrestlers' promo, but they actually get mad and don't work with each other. It seems to me that instead of them really shooting on each other and saying all these horrible things and having all these violent feuds and altercations, if they were working with each other, then it would boost everybody's record sales and nobody would get shot. That's what I would think first off, because the diss track in wrestling is to make everybody money, not to fucking kill somebody.
Well, let's go back to the article here. Lamar also seemed to assert that Drake had more than a decade ago fathered a secret daughter, echoing the big reveal of his son from Drake's last headline last headline rap beef, a claim Drake quickly denied on Instagram before hitting back in another song on Sunday. Neither man has addressed the full array of rapped allegations directly.
Rapped allegations. And we sit here enraptured.
On Tuesday, a security guard was shot and seriously injured outside of Drake's Toronto home,
see?
which appeared on the cover art for Lamar's Not Like Us.
What the fuck is that? Oh, God damn it.
So his house was the cover art of the other guy's art, and then someone went to the house and shot the security guard. In Toronto, by the way. Drake's, again, he's living in Toronto, so that means either someone knew someone from, Bruiser Bedlam's gang, or some American came up there and did that. Jumped the border.
Yeah, so, they were so fucking anxious to turn me away, my innocent little self, but they let in whoever came up there and shot the guy. So yeah, what did I say? I prognosticated that here about 35 seconds ago.
Well, we'll scroll down a little bit. Why now? The subheadline here. Since late March, the much-anticipated head-to-head seemed inevitable. Following years of will they or won't they, lyrical feints, Lamar hit directly, on record first, this year during a surprise appearance on the song Like That by the Atlanta rapper Future and producer Metro Boomin.
Metro Boomin!
Both formerly frequent Drake collaborators. So this is like Paul Heyman going with the Midnight Express. Right? He's going to the guys who used to collaborate with Drake to make a Drake diss track?
Well, no, because now there was... See, unless you can prove that Dennis Condrey was in both camps at one point in time, then it would be more like this guy, he's a turncoat is what he is, isn't he?
Well,
he was on one side, and then he was on the other side. The guy that's going with the other thing, it's doing the other diss of the other diss guy.
Well, it's both. That's what I'm saying. It's both the Atlanta rapper Future and the producer Metro Boomin. Both were frequent Drake collaborators.
Well, maybe he didn't give them enough credit for their collaboration, and now they're burying him.
With audible disgust, Lamar invoked the track First Person Shooter from last year's Drake album For All the Dogs, in which a guest verse from J. Cole referred to himself, Drake, and Lamar as the big three of modern MCs. Lamar took exception to the grouping, declaring there was no big three, quote, just big me. He also called himself the Prince to Drake's Michael Jackson, a deeper, more complex artist versus a troubled, pop-oriented hitmaker.
Oh, good Lord. Do you think all of these fucking guys are too busy sniffing their own farts to fucking know what's going on in the world?
Like That spent 3 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 as Future and Metro Boomin released 2 chart-topping albums, We Don't Trust You and We Still Don't Trust You.
We still don't. This is a rib. Are you reading this in the Onion or whatever? And I know it's easier to get on the charts these days than it used to be back when music actually sold before you could just steal all you wanted for free, right? But is it this easy for people to get on the charts with shit these days?
The songs were anchored by a parade of Drake's past associates, each of whom seemed to share a simmering distaste towards the rapper, who later called the ambush a 20 versus 1 fight. In early April, J. Cole fought back momentarily, releasing the song 7 Minute Drill, in which he called Lamar overrated before backtracking, apologizing, and having the song removed from streaming services.
Wait a minute. So these other motherfuckers are shooting people, and this guy said somebody was overrated and then apologized and deleted the fucking song?
Yeah, they're going to send a gun to his house. That's why. But
Jesus Christ, what a pussy.
But Drake soon picked up the baton, releasing a wide-ranging diss track called Push-Ups, less than a week later, that addressed the field, with a special focus on Lamar's height, shoe size, and supposedly disadvantageous business dealings.
Well, first, how tall is he and how big are his feet?
I don't know. Let me look that up. How tall Kendrick Lamar height? 5'5".
Oh, so he's a little short fucker.
What do you consider short? Drake is 6 foot. Drake is 6 foot.
For an adult human male, if you're, I would think, less than 5'9", you would be considered a little short fuck, wouldn't you?
Do you think short people are better lyricists because of the frustration out of being short?
No, I think that short people got no reason to live. They got
Don't show. People may not know the song, and you're making a bad joke here.
They got tiny little feet and tiny little voices going peep, peep, peep. Don't want no short people. Don't want no short people. You can't tell me I don't sound like Randy Newman. Don't want no short.
Sounds like you're on Team Drake.
Here.
Well, let's go back to this article here. Less than a week later, Drake.
I thought they were making fun of him because he was like a lurch, like a 6'7", 160-pound fucking scarecrow or something.
Less than a week later, Drake mocked Lamar's lack of a response on tailor-made freestyle, which is also what they called the Abro Bimbo when Terry Taylor was in town. Tailor-made freestyle, a track released only on social media. It featured Drake taunting Lamar for being scared to release music at the same time as Taylor Swift and using AI voice filters to mimic Tupac and Snoop Dogg, imploring Lamar to battle for the good of the West Coast. Let's stop there. What do you think of AI being used to bring Tupac back to the dead to back Drake in this beef?
Well, that's what rap was built on. Other people's fucking music. They take the beat and do whatever. That Rick Rubin said to me, these words came out of his mouth when I asked him about, should we pay for any of this music we're airing on Smoky Mountain TV? He said, I make rap music. We take other people's music and sell it. You'll be all right.
Well, here's some lyrics from Drake from this song. Since like that, your tone changed a little. You're not as enthused. How are you not in the booth? It feel like you kinda removed. Tailor-made freestyle was later removed from the internet at the request of the Tupac estate. But it was
I know those are English words. I recognize the sound of most of them, but I don't know what the fuck you're talking about here.
But it was a seemingly tossed-off line from the earlier Push-Ups that included the name of Lamar's longtime romantic partner. The quote, I be with some bodyguards like Whitney. That Lamar would later allude to as a red line crossed, making all subject matter fair game in the songs to come.
Wait, back up. What did he
said?
I understand when I say bad things about someone in order to piss them off, everybody else in the world can kind of understand what I'm saying. I don't know what did he say again?
I be with some bodyguards like Whitney.
Okay, who's Whitney?
I am not sure. I'm Googling right now. Who is Kendrick Lamar's fiance? All about Whitney Alford. So that is her, Whitney Alford. Or Whitney Lamar. I guess maybe they are now together.
But I be with some bodyguards. He's not saying, and Whitney, if she had as many dicks sticking out of her as she's had stuck in her, she'd look like a porcupine. I could understand how that's inflammatory.
Now, he didn't say that. You said that.
Well, that would be inflammatory. I could understand that. But this guy didn't. What does he say? What is the bodyguard? I don't know what's going on here.
It was this same alleged faux pas that may have triggered an intensification of Drake's beef with Pusha T in 2018.
Who?
Now I have the subheadline, How We Got Here.
A sub-headline.
Even with Drake dissing cameos from Future, Ye, the former Kanye West, Rick Ross, The Weeknd, and A$AP Rocky, the main event was always going to be between Drake, 37, and Lamar, 36, who have spent more than a decade subtly antagonizing one another in songs while maintaining an icy frenemy rapport in public. You got all that? This writer may not be doing the best job for getting this story across. Jeez.
No, that's why I'm saying, what is the audience for this? Is it, I don't know if these people's immediate families would understand who's on whose side here.
I'm going to scroll a little bit. In 2011, Drake introduced Lamar to mainstream audiences on his second album, Take Care. They went on to record again.
Oh, well, now the one guy, now we got some bone of contention here. The one guy made the other guy, put him over, the Flair Sting type of deal, brought him in, here you go. And the other guy has been an ungrateful prick. Is that the root of this?
But the collaboration ceased as Drake became his generation's premier hitmaker across styles in hip-hop and beyond, while Lamar burrowed deeper into his own psyche on naughty concept albums that brought wide critical acclaim alongside less constant commercial success. So, one was the indie darling, and the other one was main eventing WrestleMania.
Ah, jealousy, that green-eyed monster.
And finally, the last thing here, the week it went nuclear, Lamar's first targeted response, Euphoria, was more than 6 minutes long and released last Tuesday morning, in 3 sections that raised the temperature as they built, like a match. He warned Drake about proceeding and insisted, somewhat facetiously, that things were still friendly. The quote, "Know you a master manipulator and habitual liar too, but don't tell no lie about me, and I won't tell truths about you." That's pretty good. He accused the biracial Drake, who was born and raised in Toronto, of imitating Black Americans' heritage and insulting him subliminally. Once again, a quote from Lamar, "I hate the way you walk, the way you talk. I hate the way you dress. I hate the way you sneak this. If I catch flight, it's going to be direct." And he called Drake's standing as a father into question. Quote, "Teaching him morals, integrity, discipline. Listen, man, you don't know nothing about that." Days later, Lamar doubled down with an Instagram-only diss track called 616 in LA, borrowing both Drake's back-to-back diss tactic from his 2015 beef with Meek Mill.
Oh, good Lord.
This is all over the place. I know you don't
Good Lord, I don't want...
Fake bully. I hate bullies. You must be a terrible person. Everyone inside your team is whispering that you deserve it.
I think all of these son of a bitches need to have me come in there and explain to them how to just tell a motherfucker off where everybody will know what you're talking about and that person will feel suitably chastened.
See, that's what one of these guys should, that's what Drake should do. Drake should find the best beat he can get, the best producer, come up with that beat, and then all of a sudden it stops and it's just you with no music behind you cutting a promo. Stop wasting time. Let's do this.
Yeah, for heaven's sake, because we still haven't settled things between Ric Flair and the Egyptian, right?
Or Paisanos.
Paisano, well, the Egyptian, as we know, the manager, he was...
They were harboring the Egyptian at Paisanos.
He was identified as the Egyptian on the closed captioning when Flair was too drunk to pronounce dipshit.
Yeah, somehow the Egyptian's less offensive than Nicholas Dipshit.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, could we...
Who's on the pussy clock?
If we had some kind of a beat and we had... Here comes the Egyptian. He runs a pizza kitchen. Takes a long time shitting. I'm wiping my ass, nature boy. Here comes the Egyptian. Is it fact or fiction that Flair was bitching? 'Cause the manager was a dipshit. Order a sausage, baby. Or pepperoni, maybe. Woo at an old blind lady. We're leaving $1,000 tip. Here comes the Egyptian. It's something like that.
Brother, I just want to get something in there so I can get a songwriting credit.
Brother.
Yeah, it's something. I just need to get my name on that track. But there it is. We will. We've covered the Diddy news, and
Diddy.
we will continue.
You were don't. You're not sexist. You weren't saying titty news. The Diddy news.
No one thought I was saying titty news.
Well,
we're talking the Diddy news, and from the news we heard, maybe Diddy don't like that titty so much. Who knows what's going on? But ladies and gentlemen, we will stay on top of everything happening in hip hop and beyond. For MTV News, I'm Kurt Loder.